Guys, we're going to do 7 part 5, okay? I'll do 7 part 4 as well while I'm at it. Okay, 7 part 4. F of x is the function. You square the number you're given, then you add on 2 times that number. Once you get that answer, you then take away 1. That's the rule for this question. That's what f means, okay? So, find f of 3/5. Use the number 3/5 and apply your rule. Square 3/5, add on 2 times 3/5, and then take away 1. What I do straight away, just go to the calculator on that and put everything in. So it's just going to be 3/5 squared, and then you're going to have minus 2 times 3/5, or sorry, plus 2 times 3/5, excuse me, plus 2 times 3/5, and then take away 1, and what we're going to have there is 14/25. Okay, so you can see it's as easy as that. Replace x with whatever number you're given, put it in. Okay, now question 5 is difficult, and I would excuse you in not getting question 5. Okay, if f of x is this here, can anybody tell me what fk would be? Can you tell me what fk would be, lads? Instead of x, we're going to have k. K squared plus 2 times k minus 1. What is the answer for fk? The answer for fk is another minus 1. Now you have, what type of equation is this here? Or nearly, what type of equation will it be? Bring over the minus 1 and what happens? Yeah, minus 1 plus 1 equals 0. K squared plus 2k equals 0. Happy enough with that? Now guys, what happens next?
K bracket k plus 2.
K bracket k plus 2 equals 0. So either k will equal 0 or k plus 2 equals 0, and then k equals minus 2. Does the question say value or values? 2 values. So that's how you know you're right. Okay. Will I leave it up there for a second? There's 2 rules going on here, guys. The first rule is f of x. F of x means whatever number you're using, square it and add on 1. Happy enough with that? G of x means, the rule g of x means whatever number you have, multiply it by 2. Happy enough with that? Therefore, f of root 3 means what, guys? Root 3 squared plus 1, and the answer to that is 4. What about g of 1, guys? G of 1? 2 times 1 equals 2. No excuse for not picking up the early marks on them, okay? I expect everybody in the class to be picking up 100% on that every time. Okay, there's no excuses there. Now, second one, medium difficulty question, not too bad. F of root 3, guys? Anybody? F of root 3? 4 equals k times, what's G1? 2. 4 equals 2k. What's k going to be equal to? 2. K equals 2. Is that right, lads?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, how many people got k equals 2 last night for that part there? Okay, so majority of the class got that part there. Now, next part is slightly more difficult. It says f of x equals g of x. Any ideas what you could do for that? F of x equals g of x? F of x equals g of x. Any ideas, guys?
X squared plus 1 equals 2x.
F of x is, it means when I use the rule for f of x and I use the rule of g of x for the same number, the results are the same. That's what it means. When I use a number for f of x, the result is the same when I use the same number for g of x. So when I square a number, add on 1, it's the same result as 2 times that number. Bring over the 2x and you get x squared minus 2x plus 1 equals 0. What do we do now, guys? What's the reference number? 1. And what are the 2 numbers you should break up into? Y is a minus 1 minus 1. Minus 2 in the middle. So x minus 1 equals 0. X minus 1 equals 0. x equals 1. Are we happy with that? Grand. Okay, so next part after that is going to be part 4. Now part 4, reasonably difficult question. It'd actually be considered quite a difficult question, to be fair to it. Okay, so I get this here, and I'm looking at, looking at doing guys is this here. So first things first, just remind ourselves of what f of x is. F of x is x squared plus 1. G of x is 2x. What does f of x plus 2 mean, guys?
X plus 2 squared.
Where you used to have x, you now have x plus 2. So it's going to be x plus 2 squared plus 1. Everybody get that? You're replacing x plus 2 with where x used to be, because that's the number that now occurs beside the f. What about g of x? What does g of x mean? 2 times whatever number you're meant to use. So it's going to be 2 multiplied by x squared plus 2x plus 1. What's minus fx? What is fx again, guys? Minus x squared plus 1. What's f of root 3? 4. So guys, even if you didn't know how to do the full question, if you just replace in f of x and f of root 3, you've shown you've made an effort, and you might pick up something. Okay? Now that we've done that, what can anybody tell me is x plus 2 squared? What does that mean? X plus 2 by x plus 2. So it's going to be x squared plus 2x plus another 2x plus 4. Plus the 1 that comes after it. And now what about this part here? 2x squared after that. After that. 2 after that. Minus x squared minus 1 plus 4. Let's do a tidy up. X squared's on its own. The 2 of them. And the 2 of them. And then the equals is still there. Next one. X squared. That one's on its own. 4x. And then finally the 3 of them added together. 2 minus 1 plus 4 will get you plus 5. Are they equal? Yes, they are. Okay, so they're pretty equal. So that's it. What we have here, guys, is if I gave you this question in an exam, does anybody know the answer to that? It means how many times do I need to multiply 3 by each other to get 9? Okay, so let me show you. Yeah, 3 to the power of x is 9 is the same thing as 3 squared. And 3 squared basically means x equals 2. If I gave you something like this, let me see, here we go. 2 to the power of x equals 16. What you have to do is you go to your calculator and you find out how many 2's are needed to multiply by each other. Now you keep multiplying 2 by 2 until you get 16. 2 by 2 is 4, multiplied by another 2, that's your third 2, is 3, multiplied by another 2, 16. So 2 to the power of 4. Therefore x equals 4. Everybody happy with that?
Yes.
Now, the third variation of this question I can ask you is this here. I could ask you, I have a good one for you. Okay. Yes, grand shot. Yeah. Okay. Okay. 3 by 2 to the power of x equals 96. What is x? So, first thing we need to do is get 2 to the power of x on its own. Any suggestions on how we do that? The 3 is multiplying the left, which makes it divide on the right. 96 divided by 3 is 32. Go to your calculator and figure out how many 2's it takes to multiply by each other to give you, that's 3 2's gives you 8. Multiply by another 2, that's your 4th 2. And then finally your 5th 2, 32. So 2 to the power of x equals 2 to the power of 5. X therefore equals 5. Is everybody alright with that maths we just did there?
Yeah.
You should be okay. Now, let me show you how to do this. These are very easy. Won't do them all, okay? Find f of 3 and f of 0. Very easy. Fx equals 2 by 3 to the power of x. Therefore, f3 is equal to what, guys? 2 by 3 to the power of 3. Just go to your calculator. Don't do anything fancy with it. You get 54. 54 is your answer. Okay. Next one's f0. Once again, same deal. 2 times 3 to the power of 0. Go to your calculator. You might as well use it. The answer is 2. Okay. Now, finally, the last type of question is different. Remember I keep trying to tell you. What's the difference between f18 and fx equals 18? What's the difference? 18 is the answer. You got to find out what number you use to get the answer. So in a nutshell, you used the number called x and your answer turned out to be 18. What's the first thing I have to get rid of here, guys? The 2. So what do I do with the 2? Divide it. 3 to the power of x equals 9. How many 3's make up 9 when they're multiplied together, that is? 3 to the power of 2. X therefore equals 2. You can see they're actually pretty easy, aren't they?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the next type of question I'm going to move on to, 12 and 13 are pretty much exactly the same, okay? The next type of question I'm going to move on to is this one here. Okay? So, a missile is fired straight up into the air. The height, h meters of the missile above the firing position is given by this formula here. So what happens is, guys, you basically, you're on level ground, you fire something up, it reaches a maximum height, and then it starts dropping again. Sort of like a firework going straight into the air. Okay? So, this is what's called h equals, I'm going to multiply this out. I'm going to get 100t minus, anybody? AT squared, okay? And this is a function basically called, it's basically ht, or the height is given in terms of time. So you can just leave it as h if you want. Now, if t equals 5, if the time equals 5, how do I find the height? Can anybody tell me? Swap t with 5. Use your calculator. Now, so it's going to be just 500 minus 8 times 5 squared. So 300, okay? So what does that mean after 5 seconds? You're 300 meters into the air. I don't know if you're on your way up or your way down yet. I don't know yet, okay? What about the next question? The height of the missile after 12 seconds. H equals 100 times 12 minus 8 times 12 squared. So that's going to give me 1200 minus 8 times 12 squared. 48. What can you tell me happened between 5 to 12 seconds? You start to go down. Now you might have went up for a slight bit longer and then went down afterwards, but in between 5 to 12 seconds you lost height in the air. You were higher, now you're lower. Okay? Finally, find the 2 answers in which the height of the missile is 200 meters. What can we do with our formula this time? Now we're not replacing t with 200. Why would we not replace t with 200? That'll be the what height are you after 200 seconds. We want to find out the time when the height is 200 meters. So what do we have to do with the h? 200 equals 100t minus 8t squared. What type of equation is this likely to become? 8t squared minus 100t. What's the next one then? Plus 200. Can anybody think of a number that will divide into every number there? Go bigger again. Oh, we'll do 2 actually. Can anybody think of another number that will divide into this? 2 again. Is that right? Okay. 25, really? Okay. No, because it isn't divisible by 2 anymore. Okay guys, so we can do the reference number of, we might just do the minus b formula. Straight into the minus b formula with this, okay? So, to be honest guys, the minus b formula. Everybody remembers the minus b formula, Dennis?
Yes.
Okay? Minus b formula. To be honest guys, the minus b formula, you could have done it straight away up here. You could have said a equals 8, b equals minus 100, c equals 200. If you use a equals 2, b equals minus 25, c equals 50, will both sets of answers give you the same result?
Yeah.
They have to, because they're the same equation. Okay, so you can choose either. Okay, so I'm going to choose the I'll choose the bottom one, okay? So what's minus b, lads? 25. So 25 plus or minus the square root of b squared, which is minus 25 squared, minus...
Wait, sir, do you not just change that from being 200 meters to 50 meters?
Yeah, but because it divided both sides by the same number, it divided 0 by 2.
But now you're not going to find out.
Because it's a balancing act, Paddy, because quadratic equations will work provided they're balanced. So because I divided both sides by the same amount, because there's a 0 on the right hand side, I can divide by any number I want, and it won't affect how the equation works.
I know, instead of finding out 200 meters, you're finding out 50.
I actually am, believe it or not. I understand why you think that. See the way this is your initial equation, and that refers to your 200 meters height. Any because it's an equal 0 equation, any modifications you make by dividing both sides by a certain number won't affect the answer. You could do it for these values here, and you're guaranteed to get the same answer. I guarantee it. Okay. So minus 4 times 2 times c, which is 50. Would somebody type this part into the calculator for me? Square root and everything. Over 2 times 2. So going to get is 25 plus or minus something over 4. Shh. Anybody get anything from me yet?
15.
It's 15? Okay, that's a good result there. So 25 squared minus 400. 225 is 15. Yeah, you're right. 15. Now guys, here's our 2 results. Anybody tell me the 2 results? 25 take away 15. 10 over 4, which is 2.5 seconds. Anybody tell me the second time? 40 over 4, which is 10. So it happened at 10 seconds and 2.5 seconds. So it means this height of 200 meters happened on the way up and on the way down. Okay. Finally.
So if you were to put that in now, would you get the answer there? Like 2.5 in?
If I was to put the, if I put time equals 2.5,
you get
I'll get h equals 200. What Sam told me there was that if I used the original equation being height equals, what did I modify it into? 100t minus 8t squared. If I replace t with 10, what's my answer going to be? The height answer has to be 200, because we got those answers for a height of 200 meters. If I replace t with 2.5, still has to be 200 when you put it into the equation. Okay? So that's the last one. Nothing too major here, okay? The population of rabbits increases according to this function here, where y represents the number of rabbits and t is the time in years. Find the number of rabbits after 2 years. Anybody know how to do this? Replace t with what, guys? Replace t with 2. So it's going to be 100 times 2.5 squared I reckon that's 625, but we'll find out. 625. Okay. Find the number of rabbits to the nearest rabbit after 6 years. After 6 years, how many rabbits are there going to be? 100 multiplied by? To the power of 6, which will get me. Just change that. 6. That's a lot of rabbits. 24,414 rabbits, so they breed quite quickly. You can see after 2 years, this is an example of this is actually a proper example of how like some rodent species will actually breed. They'll actually just start, the more of them there is, the more of them they can have, so they just the population explodes. Okay, all right, guys.